Hey everyone, so 6 weeks after my rust bucket went in for a new power steering pump, they finally approved the warranty claim and I'm flying from Brisbane back to Adelaide to pick it up and then driving back for the third time driving to and from Brisbane and the second time flying back and forth. Here in the middle of our Sling High Wing Build, so quite exciting.
The Australian government has introduced additional aviation security measures at Brisbane.
Power, power. Wave off, wave off. All right, here I am at the unit that my son and I left 6 weeks ago for the airplane build. Off we go, back to Queensland. All right, so here I am on the Murray River at Murray Bridge. Came from Goolwa, about, I don't know, 100 clicks that way maybe. I gotta keep driving that way for the next 21 hours to get back to Queensland. Now I have my trusty rust bucket. The battery died while it was sitting at the dealer for 6 weeks. The windows and the fan, nothing worked. So I was sweating for 45 minutes as I drove it home this morning. Got a new battery, everything works, so happy on the road. Heading back to Queensland for the third time driving back and forth because I met Bruce and Tosh in Brisbane, drove their car back to Goolwa to get our caravan, drove it back to Brisbane. Now I flew in for the second time, picked up this, now I'm driving back to Queensland, and then when the plane's done, we'll fly the plane back, then I'll airline back to Brisbane, pick this guy in the caravan up and drive him back. So 4 drives back and forth to Brisbane when it could have been 2, and 3 flights. The saga of building an airplane. Here we are at Lameroo with not 1, but 2 very impressive grain silo art. Very detailed too. Praying for rain. I really like visiting these small Australian towns. They've got so much character. A lot of small towns and remote areas are doing this kind of art just to try and bring some of the tourist dollars in. They've set up the main downtown area here with a bit of modern improvements. There's a dog park, kids playground, and a bike track. My truck has auto terrain sensing built in. Ooh, that looks like a place I can get some coffee. After a solid day of driving and then more in the early morning, I stopped by Albury in New South Wales to visit a friend with an airplane. They got a DC-3 down there. That's pretty cool. Here we are in Albury, New South Wales, and there's Grilled. I'll meet a guy there in a minute.
Yes, he's going.
Sorry, you probably wiped out.
I am wiped out. I'm absolutely wiped out. Yeah. It's only been 3 hours of theory that I just went through.
Oh,
but it's enough just to...
Just 3, so you didn't fly at all?
I didn't fly at all today. Tomorrow, unusual attitudes and all that sort of stuff. I'm just straight into it. He said he's going to put me under the foggles basically straight away.
Great.
But yeah, the theory side of it is like... I was talking to somebody the other day and they were saying, so many different opinions, right? People say, do the theory first.
Yeah.
Do the theory last. And I talked to a bloke that did the theory last. And he seemed to me like his learning style was pretty similar to me. I like to do first.
Yeah.
And then try and learn.
And study. Because it makes more sense when you...
That's the way I learn.
Yeah.
Do it. So I've been studying. I was like, I'm not in a position to be able to take the test yet. No way. And then today, when I went through and did all the theory stuff with Carl, I was like, got a lot to learn. Yeah.
Have you been reading through AIP?
Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
That's basically what we were going through today. And obviously I got the Bob Tate stuff. And then I skipped forward and I started to look at some of the things that were relevant.
Yeah.
Because like VOR's not relevant to me.
Yeah.
I need to know it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not...
Because you have the 375, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think you've got the same thing, right?
Yeah. And I talked to Errol about getting the 650 so we can do VOR.
Yeah.
and he pretty much talked me out of it.
But we had a good chat today about comparing both the options, and I think I've sort of lobbed. I think the private IFR, or the PIFA, is going to be better for me. I think, on my circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be commercial. I'm never going to do commercial. It's just, and really, realistically, all I need it to do is, I'm never going to fly in crazy stuff. It's just not the way that I'm wired.
Just in case sort of thing, right?
It's just like, prime example was Canberra the other day.
Yeah.
The base was low, and I spent the entire day looking up at the clouds, going, can I kind of get myself out of here? Or
Right.
and it actually ruined the day. And I said to Carl, I said, this is a prime example where I know that as soon as I punch above that cloud, everything's going to be sweet. Everything's going to be beautiful. And that's a perfect example of how I use the private IFR. So that's why. And I was going to do it probably a couple of months down the track, but I just decided I'm just going to get it done.
Back at base, they're starting week 5. So we got the engine on, we got all the fuel lines run, most of the firewall forward stuff. We started on the heat exchanger box, so we put the heat shroud around the exhaust.
Cool.
And then it's got that little flap.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Hit the button and turn it on as much heat as you want. Or I'm like, this is like a gradiated thing, right? Not all on or all off. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too cold.
Yeah.
And then he said this week we'll start putting the Garmin stuff in.
Wow. So you've made all the decisions?
Yeah, it's all been worked
Yeah.
for us. We talked about it early days in the contract signing.
Yeah.
So 2 G3Xs,
Yeah.
2 radios.
I think being the way that you'll fly with 2 pilots, probably always side by side too.
Yeah.
The 2 G3Xs, mate.
Well, on your Broken Hill video, you had engines and instruments on one and map on the other. It kind of makes sense too.
Yeah. I think I could have gotten by with the one, but I don't regret it.
No.
And I don't think I'll ever regret it.
No.
So,
Well, as your daughter grows,
exactly.
teach her how to fly. It's right there in front of her.
Yeah. With the stuff that we're doing this week, it's just so easy to flick the G3Xs off and, partial panel all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
375.
375. the
Dual
25,
radios or
2 radios. So
radios,
one will be like in the background plugged into the G3Xs. I said, look, if we're flying Alice to South Australia, if one radio goes, I want it backup.
Yep.
And maybe a handheld as well.
I had the same thought.
Yeah.
Yep. We did the same thing at a remote panel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although somebody went flying to Broken Hill the other day without any survival water. I don't know what he was thinking.
It's just all the little things that I found as I've been flying that you just, on the Oscar, yeah. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
There you go. Go, guys.
So I was talking to a Sling guy there.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like every time you meet someone new, they give you advice. It's like, okay, have you done this or have you done that? He's got this little bike that he stows in the back of an electric bike. Showed me that. He's gone, you should get one of these. It fits perfectly in the back seat.
I love my push scooter. It's great exercise. I almost passed out.
It's great until it's not.
And I just watched that the other day. Yeah, you did a really good job. And I think I've told you speak well. So I think we need to call you Kade Brown. As I travel around, you see all these World War I monuments with multiple names from the same family. Sometimes they'll say father and son or whatever. And it's heartbreaking, when the music you chose for the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice, very touching.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Your words were really emotive. So that was really good.
My understanding, it looked like with Broken Hill, they've obviously had a very busy December and January. In February, basically everything shuts.
Guess what song is stuck in my head, by the way? Ordinary World.
Oh, it's a good song.
I really liked it because, it's like, that's not usual. Especially for that kind of video. And it was really, really enjoyable.
But some people hate it, right? Some people get into me about music and so on.
No, I'm sure.
You're not going to please everybody. And to be honest, I've got to get down to the reason that I'm doing it. The reason that I'm doing it is it's a bit of a legacy piece for me. Yeah. Because Evie loves watching the videos.
Really?
She loves being in the videos.
Yeah, of course.
And I get the feeling that when I'm gone, she'll be able to look back.
Hopefully, like 50 years from now.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, right? But yeah, I don't want to keep going back on that dad thing, but I would love to be able to look back on stuff like that with dad. And
You don't have any,
you know what I mean? No,
any videos or anything?
I don't think you're ever 100% happy. And look, mate, you've been through a lot of trauma in your life, so you understand.
Well, you got to keep moving, otherwise you just kind of stagnate and life passes you by, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what we're doing with the airplane, I'm excited for Bruce and Tosh because Bruce, they were both doing lessons. Bruce just kind of stepped back because it was just like drinking from a fire hose. And I said, that's cool, we'll be flying and you'll be able to soak it in and it'll start to make sense as we go. Tosh was like, yeah, I'm getting this. She's full board. That's the way she is.
How are they tracking? Have they done much or?
She's probably done about 6 lessons, maybe.
It's a gutsy move, mate, because ultimately they bought this thing without really knowing whether or not they're going to like it.
True.
Yeah, imagine if they had got it and it was like, oh, no.
Well, they've been in small planes before, going out to the communities and
Cool.
WA and stuff.
That seems like a real go-getter.
She is.
Yeah.
She's a million miles an hour. They both are.
Yep.
They came down to visit at their unit where we were living for 8 months, which was amazing. We were getting ready to sell it because it'll help pay off the hangar and the plane. And they're like, let's paint the garage. So we did. Okay. They were only here for like 3 days. Okay.
Bruce would be loving the assembly and all that sort of stuff, wouldn't he? He'd be right in his element.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's a mechanic, right? Right?
Toyota mechanic. Well, James is doing a lot. And James will tell you everything. You just got to kind of ask him. Yeah, he's kind of like just goes up for it.
I've noticed on your videos they're a lot more comfortable than what they were with me.
Yeah, I keep saying to them, I said, well, you guys are really good with the camera. Cade really trained you guys well.
Oh, heaps better. Because I can remember Mitch would be just like... And James has really surprised me. Like, that's great. But they were kind of, towards the end, I think they were getting used to it.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for warming them up for me.
They were good young kids. They're awesome. So you're enjoying it?
Like, every day I'm like, this is so stinking cool. It's so unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Bruce, it's like a giant Meccano set.
I love it when you're putting stuff together and you're going through the manual step by step and they go, oh, we're going to skip this part, we're going to come back to it. Why are we going to do that? Oh, it just works better.
I've asked them a couple of times, I'm like, we're really bouncing around in these manuals, If a home builder was doing it, would he go page by page? I don't think I ever quite got an answer.
Yeah. Could you imagine doing it by home?
No.
No.
And just putting that the tail coming together, or the wings. Oh my gosh! And the boys are like, "Oh, the wings are easy." I don't think so. You see how many rivets there are?
Yeah, the wings were tough. The wings were tough, and then I also sort of found with the engine, there was so much going on in different parts of the build because there was a bit going on in the fuselage. There was a bit going on with the engine. And it almost felt like things were in fast forward at that point for me because there was only one of them in.
No.
But it was really hard to take it in sometimes.
Yeah.
There was so much going on.
Because you were up there for what, a week at a time, or 2
A
weeks
week at a time. Yeah. I think you were doing it the right way.
Yeah, I'm like, we got done with the wings and ailerons in 4 days, and they gave us Friday off in week 1. I'm like, seemed like it took a lot longer in Cade's videos.
Well, it got a bit disrupted, hey. There was so much going on in those first 2 visits. We obviously had that cyclone. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I sort of tended to find myself sort of in the corner doing my thing.
Right.
Making quite a few mistakes. Honestly, mate, I'm sitting there and I'm pulling the rivets out, and you're expecting that the rivet tub is exactly what you're expecting it to be, and then you punch it in and it's the wrong size rivet.
I know.
I don't know how many times I did that. So I was a master at getting rid of those. And then also I think it was on the flaps, the countersunk. Stuff that up.
You didn't
Forgot
count us
to,
off?
I forgot to count us in. But I think all that stuff is part of the experience, right? You're gonna make the lose, and but yeah, I felt like I was doing the wings, and felt like I was doing wings for probably the first 3 weeks.
Now, what did you do on the wings? Just putting the resin in the rivets?
Yeah, I didn't
I
really.
mean, the wings were built, right?
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah,
wing
yeah.
tips.
Sorry, the flaps and the ailerons and the wingtips.
Yeah. It did seem like it took you a long time.
Yeah,
So when we got done in like 3 days, I'm like, did
yeah.
we miss something?
Well, yeah.
I have a video that just went up day 3.
Mm.
We're in week 5 and I'm still on
Yeah.
day 3. So I certainly resonate with your comment about I'm overwhelmed by the amount of footage I have.
And you don't know how much to cut. I got a lot better probably at it towards the end to try and make it a little bit. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there that people don't want to see or don't need to.
I try to show just stuff that. And Errol's been like, "Hey, show this to the home builders."
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you really trained them well. So thank you again.
Awesome, mate. You'll be flying in what, 2 or 3 months. Honestly, yeah.
Yeah, Errol said we'll probably go to paint end of March, early April.
Okay.
So theoretically, we could be up flying
Yeah,
by
Easter.
May. Maybe, yeah.
You film the hangar? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Finally got delivered almost a year to the day we signed the contract.
Are we talking about the shed or the slab? Slab's been called, isn't it?
Slab comes next.
Okay.
So there's a video of it. So you can see the pad.
Yeah.
There's the taxiway.
Oh. Did you know those guys? Did you know those guys?
Yeah, he was my instructor.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, he checked me out on the Bristells, the little 2-seaters. He was a brilliant guy. And he was working on he designed the software for the flight school, the scheduling and all that. And he was working on a competitive software for like maintaining your own aircraft with auto updates, of all the.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be the next thing that you need to get your head around.
Yeah, so
Wow,
it's-
mate. So
it's-
who did you get to manufacture all that?
They primarily do shearing sheds and stuff.
So that's all there now. How long is that going to take to get up? Well, it should be pretty quick, yeah?
Well, they got to pour the footings.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be nice to let them sit for
Yeah.
a while, especially if they drop loose dirt in the bottom of the footing hole. Then you pour the concrete, and then it slowly
Yeah.
lowers down. So he had a 15 by 15 put up, and like right afterwards, I poured the slab,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
then the hangar settled on its footings. And now the doors don't open very well. So that was a good lesson that hopefully we can learn from.
Yeah.
When you come down to the other end of the Murray,
Yeah.
you'll have a place to hangar because
Yeah, that'll be cool.
we should be able to fit 3 or 4 airplanes in there. Although Bruce has already got a car hoist going in the back.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like Bruce, we're down 1 airplane now.
So what are those guys? So those guys were up in the top end. So they're going to move down to South
Well,
Australia?
her daughter and 3 grandkids live in Goolwa, where we're at.
Right.
And they're constantly driving back and forth. And I said, 3 years ago, you guys should get an airplane. You'd be there in no time. They said, well, you're a pilot. Would you fly it for us? And that was a joke. And then Elijah and I, after Alice, went up to Darwin and did WA and then met Bruce and Tosh in Streaky at their Streaky Bay on the Air Peninsula,
Yeah.
where they have like a big holiday shed kind of done up. So another place to come.
Yep.
They said, all right, so let's talk about this airplane thing. And so we were looking at a Piper Saratoga.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought that'd be nice, comfortable, 4 seats, put your feet up. Ran the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think when we moved down in April to Goolwa, we met them at Avalon Air Show, and that's where we saw Errol. And that's where we changed direction. Because, he just rattled off the numbers on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Have you ever seen the guy who does complete walkaround? He's like a Canadian guy. And he's got like a 3-minute video on the TSI. And he's like, this thing's a miracle of modern technology. And how do you get one? You build it or you buy it. But no one's going to sell it. And they definitely don't want to sell it to you or something like that. He's pretty funny. But he rattles off on these numbers, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the performance is incredible.
And it's all true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's no fibbing. It's actually.
because the Saratoga would have been just under $1,000 in fuel from Alice to Gula each way,
Yep.
and the High Wing should be right around 350, 400.
Yeah.
So it's like Land Cruiser economy
Yeah.
at 2.5 times the speed.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, and it makes it affordable for them to do,
Yep.
because they'd be spending that on the gas anyway.
Yep.
Sorry, the petrol, the diesel, the whole no gas. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Thanks so much, Kade, for your time and the rosemary chips and lamb burger. And please keep an eye out for the upcoming Kilo Charlie Bravo visit.